Hello everyone, this is Casual and welcome to a nerdhammer.net battle report. This game, I have been waiting for so long. I remember the first time I got back in 8th edition and I first learned about battle reports. It was the famous, the legend, Oncebitten360 teaching me everything I knew about Bretonnia and 8th edition. And I said to a buddy of mine when we first started getting back in the game, I said, one day I'm going to play Oncebitten. And it has finally come to fruition. I was so excited. He was in the area for some work stuff, and I messaged him a while back and said, hey, if you're ever in Pennsylvania, let me know and we can get a game. And wouldn't you know it, here comes June 2014 and we get a game. I am so pumped. OB wasn't traveling with an army, so I lent him my Bretonnia. He sent me a list, and I asked him if there was any type of demon army that he wanted to face, and he said, bring me your hardest army. So you guys have seen it. It's the Epidemius Great Unclean One list that I've been playing in that GT just recently, and a couple of local tournaments in preparation for that. So that's what he got. So let's take a look and see how it plays out. So yeah, you've seen this probably before if you're a viewer. If you're a new viewer, well, here's the list. I've got a Skull Cannon. I got a unit of Chaos Furies, Mark of Nurgle. I got 4 Beasts of Nurgle. I got a big block of Plague Bearers, which I have my BSB with the Regen Locust, giving these guys a 4-up regen. I have Epidemius in here behind. I got a single Beast of Nurgle, and my Great Unclean One, who looks like a Wormhorde's model. I got a unit of Plague Bearers. They have the Flaming Banner, which doesn't matter in this game, and another Skull Cannon, my dice counter with the Epidemius counter. So I was pretty excited. I just want to go and smash face. I've played Bretonnia. I've played as Bretonnia many times, so I know that this should be a weighted game in the Demon's favor. I really want to stay away from his Heroic Killing Blow Lord, which is absolutely dangerous to my Great Unclean One. So that was really my main focus with the Great Unclean One. I wanted to keep him away from Heroic Killing Blow, and in that, I think I was a little too focused on that, and you'll see why soon. So, this is my army. It's so crazy seeing it from this side. This is a unit of Knights of the Realm. I think he has a single paladin in there. These guys, who usually are my mounted yeomen, they are standing in as Grail Knights. I know it sounds blasphemous, but that's the way it is. He has 2 paladins. This is a paladin here, unpainted, and this is the Heroic Killing Blow Lord. He is in a lance of Knights Errant. The Knights Errant are smaller knights. They're new knights. That's why they have a little smaller horses and whatnot. Another unit of Knights Errant. This guy has the BSB right here, and another paladin. And I believe the level 4 of Beast, the Prophetess, is in with the Knights Errant here. He rolled up some pretty good spells. Of course, Savage Beast of Horus. Also, the Amber Spear, Curse of Honra, and I don't recall. I think it might have been Weisson's, the next one. And then on this side, he has the 2 Trebs and the Pegasus Knights, who then vanguard up to this building. So, turn 1 Demons, let's get it on. First thing I do, I surprise him. I charge with the Skull Cannon. I know if the Skull Cannon hits them, the Peg Knights are going to be in trouble. So he smartly fled with them, and they're just sitting right outside of the woods right there. So here I'm pushing up as far as I can. I'm trying to keep these distances. I'm trying to give him about a 10-inch charge to get in. Push up aggressively with the Great Unclean One. I'm going to use my Lore of Nurgle, which should work pretty well against these knights. Keeping my Furies ready for some chaffing responsibilities, lining up the cannons. I'm going to try to take the Trebs out because they're about the most threatening thing that I can think of to Epidemius and my Great Unclean One. Plague Drones, I really don't like their spot. I think I would have liked to have them more so on this left flank, as this right flank is kind of guarded with the house. This we're playing as impassable terrain, so that even bottlenecks me a little further with how wide my bases are. The drones, yeah, I'm just not really comfortable with where they are right now, so I'm going to have to move them around the board and figure out where I want them. So the Rain of Comedy goes off, and of course it's the worst one. It's the one that hits Khorne, and what it does is forces you to take a leadership test on 3d6, and you take a wound for every point you fail by. That, of course, is only if you roll a 6 for the unit, and I did, of course, on one of my skull cannons, and I take 2 wounds. I'm fortunate there. The Pegasus Knights fail. They roll a 6 first, and so they now have to take the leadership test, and it kills every single one of them. So what pegs are 2 wounds each. So yeah, he failed by a lot. I think it was like boxcars and a 5, to be honest. It was just atrocious. So yeah, the Peg Knights doing nothing again. That's pretty typical for my Pegasus Knights. And the Grail Knights, they take 2 wounds. Here I cast the magic. I cast the toughness debuff on his rightmost Knights of the Realm unit. He gets rid of that spell, and then I cast the Plague Vortex, which I miscast. I end up taking a wound for my efforts and killing a few knights. You can see the vortex went through there. Looks like I killed 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 knights. He passes his panic test, and all is well. Over here, my cannon shoots off one of the trebs, so that's awesome. And feels like a pretty productive Demons turn 1. Miscast and didn't die, and got some knights off and killed Pegasus Knights, and I got a treb. It's looking good for the Demons. 6 wounds on the counter. Turn 1 Bretonia. So he pushes up like that to reform the Grail Knights into a lance formation, and he's pushing up. He's watching his ranges. He doesn't want to get charged, of course, and he wants to be the one doing the charging. And then Amber Spear goes off and kills my Great Unclean One. Yeah, forgot about that spell. So the magic phase, I think he had about 6 dice to my 4 maybe. He 6 diced it. It did not get irresistible. It goes off. I couldn't catch him on the dispel. It hits. I fail my 5 award, and he does 5 wounds to kill the Great Unclean One. So, wow. Talk about having a good phase. Yeah, so I'm down to Great Unclean One. That sucks, but I don't need him to win. To quote Oncebitten. Yeah, so that's unfortunate. Turn 2 Demons. Bring the Furies up to trap up 2 of these lances. I think that's a pretty solid move. Just trying to mitigate. You know, I don't want 4 lances going into me at one time, so I'm hoping that this will help get me the advantage on the charges. I bring that single beast up to do some more blocking, just to deny him the ability to, you know, full out, you know, get into my Plague Bearers or my Skull Cannon there. So yeah, that's the way it looks. This cannon, I took a shot at it, did 2 wounds, so the Trebuchet can still fire. Turn 2 Bretonia. He takes his Grail Knights into the Furies. That should be a win for him, and he brings a Lone Paladin out to chaff up my Beast of Nurgle. I think that's a smart play. I love Soladins. I think they have some great uses, and they're pretty cheap. So this Paladin, I think he charged out into my Beast, so we'll see how that works out. And this Treb misfires. So turn 3 Demons. So the Beast ends up killing his Pally and overrunning to there. I decided to take my Beast into the single Pally, and I decided to put my Skull Cannon into the Grail Knights. You know, Grail Knights are only toughness 3. They have the same up armor save as other Knights. I'm going in there at strength 6 impact hits. I have 3 strength 6 from the machine, 2 killing blows from the Bloodletters. You know, I think that's a pretty good matchup. I think I may not blow through them, but you know, he's going to be taking a test, and it just kind of bottlenecks things up a little bit more. And I still have that other beast that's stopping a lance. So, you know, I think this is a smart move. There's only 1 wound left on the Treb, so I have another cannon I could shoot at it if I need to. So I thought this. I went back and forth on it, and you know, OB said that yeah, it's probably a pretty good charge for you. So when I thought about it, I was like, yeah, I do like the cannons. I do love charging with the cannons. So I thought it kind of opened up some options for me, as you know, the cannon being out there is kind of a bottleneck and a redirector in a sense. And who knows, maybe I blow through the Grail Knights, break them, and run them down, and then I have a Skull Cannon in its backfield. So yeah, I think it was a smart move. Over here, yeah, I'm just moving up with the Plague Bearers. They did have Curse of Honor on them. I did grow some back from the Plague Vortex, so I think I just moved them up. I didn't march. I didn't realize that you can move with Curse on you and not take the dangerous terrain. It's only when you march, so that's pretty awesome. Plague Drones really out of position up here. I'm just trying to get them close, and with a 10-inch fly and the size of their bases, I wasn't able just to put them out in front of the building or anything, so I'm just trying to figure out where I want those guys and how I want to use them. I'm thinking at this point they're going to be late game chargers. Yeah, just a shot of it. And my Skull Cannon does get rid of the other trip, so that's awesome. And after combat here, oh, the Skull Cannon pops. I didn't do anything to the Grail Knights. I mean, considerably fluffed my attacks. Impact hits, I think I only got 2. Yeah, it was just unfortunate. What a horrible turn of events that was. But you live and you learn. It's a 135-point cannon, so I can't complain too much, right? The Beast of Nurgle, they break this Paladin. I desperately try to to restrain them and hold them back, but I fail, and my BSB was not within reroll range. I should have been conscious of that, and when I moved, the Plague Bearers moved him over to the other side. So they had to pursue. They didn't catch him, and they stopped 1 inch away from this impassable terrain. That is not great for Plague Bearers. We messed around with the actual pursue here because this angle I don't think was correct. I think we went back and we changed it because for me to pursue him I would have had to be on a harder angle like this. So I think we fixed that at some point. Turn 3 Bretonia. Yeah, and what I was fearing, you know, if I didn't know any better, if I didn't know these two armies as well as I do, I would say, wow, taking 3 lances into that unit looks like overkill and will definitely be, you know, an easy win for Bretonia, so they're going to be able to reform and have a lot of fun. Well, I know Bretonia pretty well, and I definitely know Beast of Nurgle, and the one trick I have up my sleeve is that the Beast of Nurgle can accept and issue challenges. So how does that work for me? Well, he was pretty tight here getting in with the impassable terrain, so he only has like one row, one column on the lance in at this Beast of Nurgle. The Grails come in, they're going to have all their attacks. Now this Flaming Banner unit coming into the flank, the Lord has a magical weapon, so he can't use the Flaming, and I can issue a challenge with this guy right here. He accepts with the Lord. I think he could have probably just said, no, I don't need him, and get all these Flaming attacks in, but he does accept with the Lord, so that negates all these attacks, and just deals with the Grail Knights. So that was the trick I had on my sleeve for this, and as long as the beast can stay alive and not pop through instability, I have a beautiful counter charge here on the flank of the Knights Errant. Yeah, so that really worked out in my favor. Him accepting the challenge, I know he was getting in there hoping for killing blows, but I think not accepting that challenge and moving him to the back would have probably been the best option at that point. And there's just another shot of it. Oh no, that's after combat. So I am down 1 Beast of Nurgle, and I take a wound on the one that's in a challenge. Here's an interesting question if anyone knows this. How does this work for wounds? Because now this guy that's in a challenge has 1 wound on him. Does he stick with that wound if anyone else does wounds? Does it go to these Beasts of Nurgle? It's strange because it's not your typical unit where you have a champion, and if the champion dies, it's no big deal. You know, they all can issue challenges. I just didn't really know how the wound allocation goes. Of course, you know, the beast in the challenge, if he gets 4 wounds, he's dead. But it comes up later in the battle, and I really don't know how to play it. I've been in challenges before with the beast, but actually only in like solo beasts, not in a unit. So yeah, I'm not really sure how that all works out. So after combat, I actually put 2 wounds on his Lord, so that's pretty awesome. The beast was doing his job. So turn 4 Demons. Yep, counter charges. So I take the whole big block of Plague Bearers into the flank of the Knights Errant. That is absolutely so sweet for me. And I take the Plague Drones. They finally make a long charge. This charge here was just more to get these guys into the action, I think. I don't know how they'll do with a full lance, but I'm really liking the way this is looking, so I should be able to support them soon. I'm going to bring the Skull Cannon over and hopefully get him into the action shortly. And Epidemius is just chilling here, directing traffic. So yeah, just a close-up of that charge. yeah, this combat, I'm excited for it. Can't wait to see how it plays out. It should be good for the Demons, and it is. I break all 3 lances and catch nobody. Oh, that's disappointing. The Beast, I sent them at the Lord's unit, hoping to catch him. He has 2 wounds on him. The Prophetess is in there. They don't catch them, so they bounce an inch away from there. This single Paladin rallied last turn. Grail Knights break. They're flying away. Those guys fly away. I think I held with these guys. I just didn't think I was going to be able to catch Knights on horses. So, yeah. What a bummer. The Bretonnian scattering, and I didn't get any points for anybody. So, yeah, that's pretty disappointing. Up here, this lance holds. I think I did only 1 wound. The Plague Drones pretty much failed me there. You know, I'm strength 5 on the mount, strength 4 on the riders, so he's getting some decent armor saves. So yeah, I can't really do much. And I'm either attacking, I think, the BSB or the champion. I think I got one guy that can go after the unit. After combat here, he wins the reform and reforms as such. He's still keeping one of my guys away. I should have reformed again or rolled off the reform or tried to reform and try to get 3 guys in, but I missed that on my turn. I do correct it, I think, eventually, but yeah. So turn 4, Bretonnia. Everybody rallies. Awesome. So he rallies here. He gets his Lord here so that he has a charge that he can actually make against there. The whole lance can't make it, but the Lord can. These guys rally, the Grail Knights rally, so rallies all around, and it's turn 4 now. I'm concerned that he doesn't really need to get in combat. He's up a lot of points already with killing my Great and Clean one, and so yeah, I'm getting a little worried at this point. And then Ember Spear goes off and kills Epidemius. Oh man, that Ember Spear was absolutely clutch this game. He gets it off. You know, I don't think it was irresistible. I didn't have enough to spell dice, and I'm down to level 4. So it goes off. I've missed my ward save, and Epi's dead. So the tally's gone. So after combat here, I got 2 wounds on a Plague Drone. It looks like I have 3 Plague Drones left. So yeah, I'm getting beaten up, and I'm not getting any wounds through. And now with the Epi tally being down, I'm not the plus strength plus toughness. So yeah, this Knight Lance is grinding, and I'm in a poor position here with my Plague Bearers. I can't really countercharge with these angles. So yeah, just unlucky. Turn 5, blurry picture. Yeah, so I'm not really sure what to do here. I'm just trying to reform my beasts. You know, they don't have musicians or anything, so when I reform, I just reform. So I reform, face him this way. I'm trying to get around the impassable terrain. I know I'm giving a flank to the Heroic Killing Blow Lord, but I don't care. He doesn't get a flank bonus for charging me in the flank. I got 3 wounds on a beast, so you know, when I challenge him out, he's only going to have to do 1 wound to him to kill him, so that kind of negates a Heroic Killing Blow, and that's what we get into conversation in a little bit. I reform these guys in bust formation, thinking that he's actually going to take lances into the face of Plague Bearers, which I wouldn't do it. I don't know why I thought he would. I was giving myself ranks to just negate that all the combat that all the high impact hits, not impact hits, but charging with a lance would do to Plague Bearers. But of course, why would he have to charge them? Because, you know, he's up points-wise in this game. And over here, this combat's just going to rage on. But it doesn't, and he pops the unit. I had a pretty bad instability roll, but you know, his Paladin BSB was definitely doing some wounds, and that's the way it looks now. And he wins it on my turn, which puts my Skull Cannon in desperate need of a flea roll that I can't do. So yeah, just an overall of the board. Turn 5, Bretonnia charges his Heroic Killing Blow Lord out. He hightails it with his Grail Knights, trying to get out of the charge arc. He doesn't quite have the movement to do it. This was a big march test he had to pass to get out of the range of my Plague Bearers, and he passes it. And his other lance goes into my Skull Cannon. So yeah. I can't reach him with anything. I really don't have a whole lot left that can sweep up these knights. No speed left. So it's really going to come down to hopefully I can kill this Heroic Killing Blow Lord, and maybe my Skull Cannon can pull out some miracles. Yeah, so that's not looking good. After combat, yeah, he cleaned up. But after an instability test, I'm down to 1 plague bearer with full life. Yeah, the Lord just came in and did what he had to do. Turn 6 demons. After combat here, this beast punks the last wound off of the heroic killing blow Lord and kills him. Yeah, so that's awesome. I at least get the points for him. And on turn 6 Bretonia, he does charge this this unit that killed my cannon on the last turn into the flank of the beast, trying to avenge the death of the heroic killing blow Lord, and he does. So after it was all over, yeah, it's a win for Oncebitten. I was so happy to get a game with him. The guy's a legend in my mind, and has taught me so much about the game. Super nice guy, excellent player. We had a blast. We only got 1 game in because he did travel, so had to get some food in him. But we had a couple beers and talked Warhammer for a long time, and it was awesome. I'm so happy to meet the guy. He's a great guy. If he's ever up here again in PA, he has an open invitation. And he's also doing a battle report of the same game, so check that out on his channel. So thanks a lot, guys, for watching. Thanks, OB, for coming up to Pennsylvania and getting a game. It was a pleasure meeting you, and we'll see you on the next one.